Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I did a video on the S197 Mustang years 2005 through 2009. It might be the same for 2010 on up till 2014, but where when you're putting gas in your vehicle, the pump will click off. So, you get to fuel up, boom. And then the solution is turn the pump upside down and it continues to flow. And I explained that it has to do with the air. Like there's some kind of, it's like a fuel and air in the tank. And I don't know, it's hard to explain. Anyway, it clicks off because the air pressure is telling the pump that, okay, the tank is full when it's not. And the problem is there's a canister underneath here, which I'm going to, which tends to get clogged, or if you overfill your tank, that's why I suggest, like, don't keep, once the pump clicks off, you're done. Don't try to top it off, because it can, like, flood the canister. It's kind of a weird system, and the whole purpose is for emissions. The filter is supposed to filter out the air to the atmosphere. So my last video, I could not find, I went to a Ford parts website and that part is no longer available. Then I watched another video and a guy was like, I found them on eBay. And lo and behold, I found one on eBay. So I'm hoping it resolves the issue, and we're gonna take a look and see what the part's like. Now, if this doesn't resolve it, there's another part next to it that's some kind of solenoid, and that part's like over $100. So I think I spent maybe like 20 for this filter, I forget. But so if it's the solenoid, see, the way I operate, I start with the least expensive solution. For all you mechanics out there, you kind of nail things down. Well, what's the least expensive that it could be, and you start from there. So let's see what this thing is. It came in this box. I'll put the part number in the description. Put some light on the situation to get these. And I don't know if you can see that. Blah blah. It's they call it a separator. I call it a vapor canister. So let me see, open this up. Oh yes, that looks right. Yeah, and you can see it's got two canister. So I assume I'm just gonna put it on the same way that the other one comes off, and you could probably take it apart and see what's inside of it. I'm pretty sure it's just charcoal in there. There's like a charcoal filter in there. Yeah, you can kind of see, it looks like just your typical charcoal filter, almost like my fish filter. So, sorry, take this thing off. So, that's what we're gonna do. I got the carb on, I got it up on the quick jacks already. It's behind the car. There's a cover. Hold on. Put this light on. Yeah, this is how I roll. There's a, I'll show you guys what this looks like underneath. Where the canister is located. It's under here. This thing has to come off. Now, mine has wires. That's a long story. I used to have an active exhaust, and I kept the wiring in case I ever want to put the active exhaust back on. Now I got the Corsa Extremes. I think this is the solenoid, which is the expensive part. But I think right here, the canister's in here somewhere. I think that might be it. Maybe not. But I'm gonna take this thing off, and then, you know, so it's easy to get to. I mean, you can probably just put it up on a set of jack stands or jack it up in the back. And these are the fuel lines that go into it, and things like that. So I assume one's an airline. I think this is the airline. And I showed you before, it kind of dumps into the atmosphere out here somewhere. There's like an open pipe back in there somewhere. Ugh. Hold on, let me get out from here. I'm coming. Here I come. So, I recommend these quick jacks. I mean, they make life so much easier. Anyway, so before, if you want to look at my last video, I did a temporary fix where you can take an air compressor and kind of blow the air out of that line. But I think it fixed it for like one fill up. So try the canister next. I'll probably still do the air compressor while I get everything apart. But I'm gonna take that cover off, and then I'm gonna share what's going on underneath that cover. And then also, this video is probably gonna be over a couple days. Also, once we get this canister in, we're gonna take a trip to the gas pump and see if it still clicks off. If it still clicks off, I don't know. I mean, the next option, there's some kind of solenoid there. I got faith though. A lot of folks in the forums are saying that it did the trick for them. So, I got faith. For those of you that are new to my channel, I have this, I do slingshot content and GT500 content. This is a 2009, they call this body style S197. Gotta be good on that. I traded in a late model for this because this is a GT500 and I like the solid axle and driving a manual and stuff. But anyway, I won't get into all that. Alright, I'm gonna take this cover off and then we'll just take it from there. Alrighty. Okay, to save you guys the trouble, these are size 7/16. So you got a bolt here, a bolt there, and then when you get to the back, got these here. So you're gonna need a deep socket 7/16. And it's clipped to here. I don't know if you have to unclip that, because I think maybe just let it hang down. I'll find out. But yeah, get like a deep socket. A deep socket means it's long and deep, giggity. So yeah, 7/16. And I'm gonna take these bolts out. Oh, and also this was plugged in here, so you need to disconnect that and pull it from here. Just clear it out of the way. That may be like the solenoid I was mentioning, the expensive part. Now those of you with voltmeters skills, you can test this to see if it's good, I'm sure. Alright, just wanted to let you know, size 7/16. Okay. And there's also a push pin here. So take out this push pin as well. I don't know why they do that. I hate push pins, so be careful. These things can be fragile. A little screwdriver, pry it down and take it out. So for these push pins, you can see I took it out. You get it started and you get behind it. And one of these tools here, it looks like this. Hold on. Looks like this. So once you get the push pin kind of out, you just put this behind it and you get it behind the whole thing, and it just gets the push pin right out, because you don't want to break these because they're hard to find. But yeah, just a little tip, pro tip, get one of these tools for your push pins and a teeny tiny screwdriver to kind of just get it started. But yeah, so you want to pop the top out first a little bit, and then you use a prying tool to get the bottom. So alright kids, we're on a roll. Moment of truth. We got this thing down. There's the canister. That's what we'll be replacing. What else is in here? Yeah, I don't know what the hell this big thing is. But this may all be part of the same emissions stuff. I'm gonna disconnect this. This goes up there. That goes to the I think the hose that vents to the atmosphere. And I think this is the incoming hose from your exhaust tank. So when this gets clogged, you're not getting any air, and it makes your pump click off. That's my hypothesis. And this is the that's the solenoid right there that we unplugged. I probably should have just bought one, huh? But yeah, I'm an office cube worker, so I don't make a lot of money. So, but yeah, I'll replace that if I have to. I'm living in the matrix, guys. I'm working my way. Hopefully, some investments, but you know how it is. All right, so that's what it looks like. You pop this out. Here's the canister. Looks like we gotta pull some tubes out. I'm not gonna put you through all that. But yeah, so let's do this. Put the new canister on. Okay, so I recommend, I got some carbon choke parts cleaner. I think that would be safe. I just cleaned this. Well, now that it dried, it's hard to tell. I sprayed it down though. I cleaned it a little, even the solenoid part. But this, these just pull right off, thankfully. And this just pops right out. Now remember the way you took it out, because we want to put the new one in the same way. And you can see it looks like the carb part goes to the left. Remember when we looked at it? Is there a directional thing on this? Yeah, this says 2 canister pointing left. So 2 canister, that's the carb part. So yeah, now I recommend, since you got these apart, take an air compressor, blow some air in here, blow some air in there. That's what I'm getting ready to do. If you can, you know, maybe not. If you don't, that's no big deal. It might be fine. Last time I did, I mean, I don't think it did anything. Now, hopefully this doesn't get ruined if I air compressor it. But oh yeah, maybe don't blow this one. I'll probably just take this hose off and blow it separate from this. So yeah, clean some stuff up that way. But yeah, the canister just pops right in and pops right out. And arrow facing that way, 2 canister. That's what you want to do. All right. Okay, there's the new canister plugged up. I used the air compressor to spray this line out. You probably don't need to. And then just kind of course I got to put that hose back in there. I even took this line off and I sprayed inside here. So, well, with my air compressor. I assume this all has to do with air, hopefully. I don't know if it made a difference, but hopefully this is what makes the difference. So we'll see. I did a test on this. I sprayed some air through. Air was still coming through. Whoa! Air compressor scared me again. Anyway, yeah, so I sprayed through here air, but you don't have to, probably. Just replace the canister, make sure it's in the right direction. I was saying that I sprayed some air through here with the air compressor just to feel, and it felt like there wasn't a whole lot coming out the other side. So maybe that was it. I don't know. But yeah, there's my air compressor. All right, kids, I'm gonna put this back up. Hope it does a trick. If it doesn't, then I guess, you know, have to keep holding the pump upside down for a while until I try to replace this, maybe. Okay, you can see I let my fuel level get very low. 35 miles to E. So I'm gonna get gas now. We're gonna see if that carbon, if the EVAP filter helps the pump from clicking off. So here we go. What do you get a load of these California gas prices? What can I say? People get what they vote for.
Powering down.
Ugh. $4.69 is actually cheap for California, believe it or not. Hold on a sec. Alright, select grades. Oh, here we go. Here comes the test. I usually just hold on to it. Alright, see. Sucking away my bank account in California gas prices. Last year it was like $5 or $6 a gallon, so. Alright, so let's see. So far, no click off. Usually it clicks off at a half a tank, so which means about 6 gallons or 7 gallons. So we got the 6 gallons. If we get past 8, there might be hope. I could probably only afford 11 or 12 gallons. Kind of embarrassing. So we'll see what happens. I think the pump did not shut off, so that's a good sign. That means the charcoal filter could be doing its job then. So yeah. It cut off at 12, which is normal, because I had about a quarter tank. So when we get in the car, we'll see if it's a full tank. Yeah, why not? All right. I think we got a full tank. Let's see. I'm gonna reset. That's just the trip. 221 till E, yeah, that's a full tank. I don't really think I go 221, but you see, full tank right there. Is it gonna zoom? I guess I can't zoom. So there you have it, charcoal canister. I believe it did the trick. Now I'll post another video. Hopefully that filmed. The pump did not click off at the gas station with the new charcoal canister. I got a full tank, and I didn't have to hold the pump upside down, so that's good. All right, I'm gonna give closing remarks. I'm gonna drive home and give some closing remarks about this video and things like that, and what the solenoid is, because I think I was wrong about the solenoid, and I'll explain why. I think all you need is a canister filter for your gas pump cutting off. The solenoid's a different. I'll explain how that operates. Okay, final thoughts on the fuel evap system canister, or whatever. It's the canister filter for the fuel system. Okay, I was able to pump gas without it cutting off. So I think getting the new canister resolved the issue. I'll put the part number in a chat. I couldn't find any Ford's parts website, but maybe I was using the wrong part number before. I know you can get them from eBay, or just do a search online, enter the part number. I'll throw it in the chat. Just to refresh, here's what it looks like. This is the old one. It's just a square looking thing. This is another story. These bolts in the back, they put a square peg in a round hole literally, and they came out, and I could not get them back in. So, zip ties to the rescue. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Oh, and I was gonna say about the solenoid, which costs more money. There's also a solenoid back there. You might as well change it if you can. I think it's $100 and something. Now, I was kind of wrong about the solenoid affecting the gas pump. The way solenoids work is, for those of you non-mechanical types, I don't mean to insult you mechanics' intelligence, but they're usually designed to open and close some kind of valve. Like, for example, in the transmission, if you have an automatic transmission, there's solenoids in there, and when you shift gears, they open to allow fluid to flow in certain areas and things like that. The evap solenoid, I read about it, according to AI, it opens when the car is running. It's supposed to be open, and it lets the fuel vapors exit through the canister outside the car. When it's off, it's supposed to be closed now. So, I don't think that's going to affect when you're pumping gas. I think the canister is the culprit for the pump clicking off, because that's kind of right there. The solenoid's basically controlled by when you turn your car on and off, pretty much. So hopefully that made sense. But yeah, we resolved I think we resolved the clicking issue with the pump clicking off. So it's nice. I got a couple friends that want to know, tell me if this works. If so, can you hook my car up? So, because I got the quick jacks. So I'm probably gonna be installing this canister in two other cars, two other Mustangs. Got two friends that and the Shelby GT needs one. For those of you that were following that video, the owner of that is having the same issue, who drives the 2007 Shelby GT. So I'll be putting one in that for sure. Maybe I'll get to drive it again, right? So, but yeah, it's GT500 2007 canister replacement, evap canister under there. All right, I'm gonna post this up, and if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. But yeah, if you have a Mustang, the pump clicks off and you got to turn it upside down or whatever it might be to get it to pump, replace your fuel evap canister in the back like I showed you in the video. It's not too bad. You drop the thing. You probably don't even got to put it on lifts. Oh, and another thing, I kind of set a bad example in the video when I just let that back part hang down. You want to support it. I went ahead and used like a bucket. I got all kinds of buckets and supported it after a while. But in the video, I was just letting it hang, and you don't want to do that. It'll put stress on your fuel lines or whatever's going into there. So if you don't use jack stands, you probably just rest it on the ground. I think you don't even need to put it on a lift for this, but it's easier, to do that, to put it on jack stands. So just rest it on top of something. You don't want to just let it hang and have the fuel lines support the weight. So I was, bad mechanic yesterday. All right, well, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I do little things here and there of the either Mustang content or slingshot content. If you're into that, check out my videos, follow my channel. All right, Peace out. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. It's that time of year.